All right, so a couple little optimizations to our form, and then we'll be ready to go. The first thing I want to do is actually compress our image, and I'm going to use this node package browser image compression. So let's go ahead and install that. Where's the install? There it is. Okay. Grab this, paste it, and now we have our image compression imported. And the way this works is we can take a file and then we call this image compression here, and it's an asynchronous function. This does the work in the client. It doesn't send a request anywhere, so it's nice because it uses the client's browser to compress the image. And once the image is compressed, it'll be much easier to send it. It'll use less storage. It'll prevent people from uploading massive profile or avatar images and then kind of bogging down or creating issues where if we have a payment system, we'd have to pay more for storage. So we're going to force it to be compressed in the browser. So the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to take this out of here and we're going to create a handle function instead. They're going to say function handle avatar, and then we'll get the event, which I believe is going to be react.change event. Which change event is it? Does it say here? HTML, okay. HTML input event element? Element? No, event, right? No, HTML input element. Okay, good. So now we'll do the same stuff here. So we'll say set, but actually before we set avatar, we'll say const file equals this. And we'll say if not file, we just return. We can do this in a nice one-liner here. If not file, return. So that way we can get rid of the whole possibly undefined thing, and we just work with the assumption that it is defined. Now let's import our image compression thing here. Import image compression from browser image compression. And let's look at the options here. We have to create some options. So down here, we'll say const options equals, and I want to do two things. I want to have a max width or height with a number. Let me copy this so I don't accidentally miss a capital or something. And we'll say, let's say we want to put it at, let's say 256. That's a good avatar size. Max width or height 256. The other thing I want to do is file type, and we're going to use the what's becoming a standard, and I'm sure you've seen this when you try to save images, the WebP type. And it's annoying when you try to save it and then you don't have anything that opens it locally and all that stuff, but this is great for web-based images. So we're going to use the WebP type. And we can even see here, WebP support. WebP compression is supported on major browsers. Yeah. So we're going to use WebP. Okay, so we've got the max width or height, we got file type WebP, and I think those are the only options we really need to worry about. And now what we actually need to do is make this async. Do we need to? I think it's okay to make it async. Because we're not getting any return from here, so it doesn't matter. We could do it without async, but I think it's recommending async awaiting here. No, it's actually using .then. That's fine. Okay. Either way is totally fine, I believe. Let's use the .then just to align with what they're doing. And then we're going to say const compressed. So image compression, and we'll be passing in the file and the options, and then .then, and then in here we're going to say compressed file, and we can set avatar to the compressed file. which it's always going to be a file. We could do the error catch. Sure, why not? Catch. And then we'll say error, console log error like that. Oh, sorry, E. Yeah, let's write error because we're already using E in a different scope, but we're already using it. Okay, so simulate abort the compression after 1.5 seconds. Oh, that's interesting. I'll throw that in there just to be extra diligent, I guess. Wait, there's no controller though. Okay, we have to import that as well. I'll just follow what it says here. Why not? Okay. I just want to stop. Okay. I'm going to write something a little better. Abort compression. This is just another thing that's saying if it takes more than 1.5 seconds, then it's taking too long to compress, and we'll just abort it. All right, so we're setting the avatar to the compressed file now. So now we're going to get a nice compressed version of the file. So let's see what that looks like when we console log it. We'll go back over to here, to here. We're going to refresh. Let's open our console, upload avatar. And it says the type is still image JPEG. Oh, we didn't change this down here. Okay, so let's get rid of this on change. And we're gonna write handle avatar instead. There we go. Now we do it again. There we go. Now we can see the size and image WebP. Okay. So we've got our catmelon.jpg image WebP. It's a blob. It's the same file type. It still returns a file or blob. So we're good. We're good to go here. The other thing I want to do is, along with changing this, I actually want to change the preview image to align with it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have another thing here, which is going to be const avatar URL, set avatar URL equals use state. And this is by default, it's going to be I think it's just string and then nothing. Oh, not nothing. It's going to be by default, it's going to be the profile.avatar URL or an empty string. And now down here, instead of this, we're going to put avatar URL. And this is not going to change anything because it's still going to be an empty string. But when we get an avatar, what I want to do is show a preview of it here. And it's actually not that hard to do. There's a built-in URL library dot create object URL. And what this does is it creates a temporary URL for our for that avatar. And then we just pass in the processed file or the avatar. And now we get a nice URL here. So we will set avatar URL to this URL. And then what I can do here is actually kind of interesting. I can set a return in this use effect. We haven't talked about this yet, but this is something we can do. And this will call when we dismount the object. This just helps us with memory issues. It just makes sure that it cleans up the URL. It gets rid of that URL. So we're going to revoke the URL so it no longer works after that. So if they have this temporary URL, if they lose that session, or if we go to navigate away or dismount this, that won't work anymore. So we're going to dismount or revoke that that URL. I think we have to do it like this though. So we'll say const preview URL equals this. And then we'll put that here. And then we'll revoke the preview URL here. This has to be inside of our if here. There we go. This is really confusing, but anytime you return from a use effect, it won't actually call this return until this unmounts. So I was trying to think of the right word. Dismount, remount, unmount. Okay. So now when I click on this, look at that. It sets the preview image there. We got Ellie, we got Cat Melon Head. So it puts the avatar preview there so they can see what it looks like as an avatar. So this is all resized and all ready to go. What I would like to do now is actually have a button that's going to handle the save, and then we'll figure out what to do there. So let's create a function, handle save. And then down here, we'll just add a button. Save profile, on click, handle save, and let's say variant equals contained because I don't like the default one. Now I just got a nice save profile button here. So when we click this, it's going to save whatever we put into our profile. Now next thing is figuring out how to put this all together and make it work. And yeah, we'll get there.